Welcome back. Today, this class will be dedicated to restoring energy. So just taking your time to have a setup, have 3 or 4 blankets if you have those, or some towels. Have a bolster. You can have a weight if you have a sandbag. You can have a block. You don't really need the blocks, but in case you don't have a bolster, you can use the blocks. Okay, so we're going to take maybe 5, 6, 7 poses, and we'll stay a little while, not too long. The entire session will only be about 30 minutes. So it's just enough to relax, to allow yourself to just be there. Okay, so let's get started. Before we get started, if you want to learn the basics of Iyengar Yoga, I've designed a new course, Foundational Iyengar Yoga. This course is for you if you're a beginner, if you've been practicing for a while and you just want to deepen your understanding, or if you're a teacher and you would like to be more inspired, go back to the basics. So it's a 6-week course, 18 different classes, and you'll be able to go through at your own pace. You can find more details in the description box below. Go ahead and get those things, and I'll set myself up. You're going to start with a bolster and a blanket. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention toward the end, we'll need a chair. So if you don't have the chair around you, you can get the chair. We're going to start with the bolster going horizontal. And you can open your blanket. And you're going to roll the blanket. So we'll use this as neck support. So just make sure your blanket is even, folded, and then roll the blanket. You have a little bit of neck support, and then your head will be on that. You're going to come down. This would be with bent knees, and you'll have your hips on the floor, and just get a little bit of lift to the chest, bringing that bolster down, and then having that neck support. Now, my hips are off the floor because of the width of this bolster. So if you have more of a round bolster, your hips maybe will be on the floor. But because my hips are lifted, now I'm going to take a little bit of height for the hips so that the hips are grounded. So really, always we have to adjust according to the props that we have. So now the hips are down. I'm getting that curve to the back. Back is over the bolster. And I have that rolled blanket for the neck. I can even take it a little bit further. So just adjust according to what feels good for you. And then you can take your arms out to the side. And just be here. Stay here with bent knees. As you press the feet into the floor, release the hips down so the pelvis is lengthening. And the lower back is supported. And then as you are over this bolster, you can feel the lift of the chest and that slight back bending that we're doing here. And as you're in this pose for a while, just begin to observe your breath. Keep the feet grounded. So as the feet are grounded, the hips are grounded. Back of the head releasing down. You're getting a slight curve to the neck. So for those of you that have a flat neck or any kind of neck issues, this will feel good to support the neck. And of course, depending on your neck, you have to have enough height. Depending on your blanket, if it's a thick blanket or if it's a towel. So build it up so that it feels supportive. And then just be there. Relax your face, relax your lips, your jaw. Let the lips part slightly. Observing the breath in the abdomen. Observing that softness in the abdomen. Aware of anywhere that you're holding or gripping. Softening as you stay with your breath. All right, we're going to prepare to come up. Bring your feet in a bit closer. Bring your hands onto your chest. And then lift your hips. Turn the hips. Roll onto the side. And inhale, come up. Okay, now we'll prepare for Supta Baddha Konasana. So you're going to take your bolster the other direction. You can have a blanket for your head. And you'll have one strap. And then you're going to take some support for the arms. Okay, so head here, arms. I could use one more blanket. Okay, 4 or 5 blankets, depending on what you need. I've taken 5 here. If you have 5, that's great. If not, then you make do with what you have. You could use a couple rolled towels as well. So I'm going to use these towels here, or these blankets for the outside of my thighs, so the pelvis will be completely relaxed and softened. Okay, so I'll sit in front of the bolster and take my strap. So have the strap wide. And you want to pay attention to which way the strap is pulling. So I'm pulling this way. So I'm going to take the strap around the waist. When I lie down, I may want to bring my feet closer. So I'm going to have the tail end toward me. Bring the feet in. Bring the strap over the bottom edge of the foot. And then I'll have that strap if I want to adjust. So don't have it too tight. You want to bring it down around your lower back. And then just adjust your bolster behind you so it's straight. It's right up to your hips. Bring your hands onto the floor, lift the pelvis, tuck the lower back, the tailbone down, so you're adjusting the pelvis in that tilt. And then you're going to have these blankets. You can use blocks as well, whatever you have there, to release the legs. Now, I find that I want a little bit more support with the head, so I'm going to fold this blanket. All of our blankets are a little bit different width and depth. So this is a thin blanket, so I'm going to bring it so it's a little bit more height for my head. And then I have these for the arms here, so I'm going to adjust so that when I relax my arms down, they're completely supported, so they're not falling out of my shoulders. So with it, one blanket is a little bit different dimension than the other, so I'm going to tri-fold that blanket. So just make sure that you feel that you're balanced on the left side and the right side. Move that blanket down a bit. This blanket out. Okay, so find a comfortable position. If the blankets are too close, you're going to feel constriction here. If they're too far away, also that may not be comfortable. So find a comfortable place, find that place where the legs can release, and with that, the abdomen begins to soften. Very different than if we're just doing Supta Baddha Konasana. Without that support, we're more working on the inner legs, inner groin. And after you're there a while, that can be feeling a little bit too much, where you create some tension in the abdomen. So we're not thinking how much we can open the inner legs right now. We're just looking at how we can soften through the pelvis and relax. Okay, the last thing, you can take your hands behind the head, lengthen from the occipital bone, so the neck is lengthening. The chin is slightly moving down, so the forehead is a little bit higher, and it's at a slant. Throat then can soften. And as you're here, just release the shoulders, the arms. Let the legs completely relax down into that support. Feel that the head is completely supported. Let the front of the head descend down to the back of the head. And then, as you've taken that time to set up, just allow yourself to be there. Come back to the breath, the rhythm of the breath. Allowing your exhalation to guide you. And just be there. We'll hold this another few minutes. Bring your hands on your body. Lift your legs up. Take the legs out of the strap. Shift your hips and roll onto your right side. Just rest on your arm. When you're ready, press yourself up. Come up gently. And not disturbing yourself too much, but just preparing for the next pose. We're going to go into Setu Bandha. So you can use the bolster. Take the strap away. And you'll sit on the bolster. Depending on your bolster size, the height, you may need a blanket for your head. You may not for the shoulders. So just have that there to show you. And then I'll take the strap. I'm just going to bring it around the legs, around the outer feet. So I'll come down, slide the hips down. So I want the center of the pelvis in the middle as the shoulders come down. The back of the head is supported, and then just extend the legs. So here I'm getting that opening through the pelvis, and that strap is helping to keep the legs so that they're not falling in or out. You don't have to think about the legs much. Okay, adjust your arms, your shoulders. And then again, come back to the breath. Letting go of any tension in the abdomen. Now making sure your neck feels comfortable and supported. You can always roll the blanket like we've done before, if you need that extra support. If you do, then you would have a blanket under your head. Okay, so just adjusting as you need. Another minute. Come back to the breath. I'm feeling the freedom in this, that the legs spread, pelvis open, chest open, armpit area. So all the areas where you have lymph. So that helps to get that blood circulating, moving fresh blood and moving old cells. All right, now you're going to bend your knees. Bring your feet back onto the floor. And bring your arm up again. You're going to roll onto your side. Just resting there. Again, using your hand, press down. Keep your head, your neck, your shoulders soft and relaxed. And then you're going to bring your bolster over to the wall. You can have an extra blanket. And I'm going to put that on top. I'm going to have a little bit of space. So I'm just, instead of using a block, you can use a block. I'm just going to bring this mat here so the bolster doesn't roll. And I have space for the hips to descend. Okay. Now again, you can have that strap. And I'm going to just keep feet hips width. You can do legs wider, but for this session, let's just keep the legs hips width. You can have that sandbag if you'd like, if you can manage to put one on your feet. I'll show you in the most graceful way that I can. So here I've got the strap, and I'm going to press my legs into it. The legs are descending. Allow the chest to lift. The more the chest lifts, the more the hips can descend. So again, the armpit area is lifted, tops of the shoulders moving down. Getting that curve to the back that we had earlier with the bolster. Just keep the legs extended up, but also descending down into the hips. And then just be there. As you come back to the breath, observe that softness in the abdominal area. Feeling how the breath is able to move down into the lower pelvis. but also into the upper chest. Viparita Karani, very relaxing but restorative pose. Helps to revitalize the energy in the legs. And the oxygen moving into the chest, into the lungs, creating blood flow and circulation everywhere that you need it. Through the legs, the ankles, abdominal organs, around the heart region, and into the neck, into the glands. We're going to stay another few breaths. Now come back to the breath. Deepen your inhalation. And then bend your legs. You can release the strap. Press yourself off the bolster. Take your strap off your legs. And then roll onto your right. Again, raise the arm, let your head rest. And gently press yourself up. Coming back up. Okay, so now you're going to have a bolster again. With that bolster, you're going to bring your legs over and sit. So it's a little bit of a twist. You're going to come down, legs and hips on the floor, and then turn the abdomen and turn the chest. Use the arms, support the head. If that's not enough support, you can have another blanket to lift your head so the nose is not pressing into that. So again, your legs are this direction. Your hip is on the floor. One hip is on the floor. And then the abdomen is coming along that bolster again. Okay, so you're turning the back body, back ribs. You're getting more circulation in the kidney area. So you're doing a little bit of a twist for a bit of rejuvenation, not only through the abdomen, but through the back body. Descending the top back waistband. Feeling the abdomen, feeling the breath. Keep the abdomen soft. Breath relaxed. And then we'll come up and we'll change sides. So come back up onto your knees. If you need to adjust your bolster, do that. So I'm bringing my knees to the other side of the bolster, coming down on the hips. So I'm at a tilt, and then I'll come close to the bolster, bring the lower abdomen. You can even bring that blanket in like we did before. Come down, adjust your legs how you need to so that you can come down and bring the abdomen onto that support. And then just be there. Again, turn the back waist toward the floor. Observe your breath. Let the head heavy. Move from the back of the head into that support. Throat relaxed. Okay, preparing to come up. Bring your hands back onto the blankets. And now you're going to sit in Upavistha. So have a wide leg. You can have a blanket to sit on. If you're okay to sit on the floor, then you just sit on the floor. So build up your height if you need to. So how do you know if you need to? If you're sinking back like this and your back is moving back, then you need to, first of all, adjust the backs of the thighs, be on your sitting bones, and come forward, like we've been working with the abdomen coming forward. So taking the support that you need, if that's not enough height, you can add extra blanket, you can add another bolster. So taking that support, you can even bring a chair. You can have the chair here and then just lift up over the chair, having a bolster there. We'll just start with this and then you can adjust. So allowing the back body to come forward, thighs are grounded, sending the head of the femur bone and the whole front thigh toward the back thigh. Stay with your breath. Just allowing that open leg position, hip opening through the pelvis. To come. A bit of freedom there with the breath. Lower back wide. And releasing the head, releasing the shoulders. Releasing the breath. And then you'll come up gently, softly, without disturbing yourself too much. You can have a blanket For your head, we'll go into Savasana. Turn around and bring everything on the tops of your thighs. Have everything away from you so that when you lie down, your body is completely on the mat. Start with your knees bent. Adjust your pelvis. If you're using the blanket, have it come all the way to the tops of the shoulders. Adjust your shoulders and let your arms turn out to the side. So coming into Shavasana, you're already in a fairly quiet state. Just let the body completely release down. Feel all the points that the back of the body is touching the floor. And use that sense to release the front body down. From the heels to the calves, to the hips, to the back, backs of the arms and the shoulders, and then the back of the head. Releasing your exhalation. Releasing and letting go. Be in the rhythm of the breath. Allowing the eyes to descend down. Feeling of that withdrawal of your energy and your senses into the space within. Begin to deepen your breath. Bring your hands back onto the abdomen. And bending the knees. Taking any support that you have, bring it over to the side. And shift your hips, roll onto your side. Bring your hand underneath so you can rest your head. Bring your hand onto the floor. press down with the hand and the arm. Have it come back up. If you want support to sit on, you can take your blankets or the bolster and then just sit upright. Have a couple of breaths to lengthen your inhalation, bringing that energy back in. Feeling restored, feeling relaxed. Slowly open your eyes. Namaste. I hope you've enjoyed your practice and you feel relaxed and restored. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next class. Namaste.